Today take you through the installation steps for a 225 kWh hybrid energy storage system. Note that the installation of any electrical equipment requires qualified professionals to install, operate, and maintain, and be sure to do a good job of the relevant protective measures, correctly wearing protective equipment. This is the product appearance of a 225 kWh hybrid energy storage system. It can be seen that the product is 1,600 mm in length. The width is 1,050 mm. Height is 2,050 mm. The correct way to open the product is to unlock the key and turn it. Turn the handle as indicated by the arrow to open the cabinet door. The right side of the cabinet door is equipped with aerosol fire protection. Interior structure on the left side of the cabinet door, from top to bottom, is the energy management system. Next comes the high-pressure box. The two black ones are PCS energy storage converters. Below it is the static conversion switch. The lastly is the bypass switch, grid switches, and load switches. Product parameter information is on the cabinet, door, brand name electronic display screen, product system circuit diagram, and dust nets. The interior structure on the right side of the cabinet door has 14 battery packs. The rear of the product is the air conditioning system, and the rear vent of the battery pack. Next, it's the 84 kW photovoltaic MPPT controller. Okay, let's take a look at the appearance description of the product. The height of the product is 280 mm. The width is 550 m. The length is 530 mm. Read the instructions before installation and check if all attachments in the packing box are complete. Need to pay attention to the environmental requirements for the installation of the controller. Need to be installed in a location of easy ventilation and heat dissipation, and is recommended to install a sunshade. The mounting surface is strong and meet the requirements of load bearing, vertical installation or tilt back up to 15 degrees, and so on. And more than 550 mm of space should be reserved between each unit. At least 300 mm of space should be reserved up and down for MPPT heat dissipation and maintenance. When multiple MPPTs are installed on the same plane, it is recommended to install them in a straight line, and more than 550 mm of space should be reserved between each unit. If you need to install them into rows, it is recommended to adopt the triangular shape. More than 300 mm of space should be reserved between the first rows. Remove the screws from the MPPT controller panel. Open the panel. You can see the internal wiring structure. Above wiring structure is the PV branch. At the bottom of the photovoltaic MPPT controller, input ports, DC output ports, and communication interfaces, etc. The PV connection terminal only connects strings 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15. Note that the MPPT controller has 16 branches. Every 2 branches are connected in parallel to form a group, a total of 8 groups. All groups must be uniformly selected single or dual mode, not mixed. Strip the insulation of the PV branch input cable to the appropriate length. Then insert the wire into the terminal with crimping pliers and press it tightly. Insert the cable into the positive input terminal and then hear a click to indicate that it is inserted correctly, and finally tighten it. By the same method, we connect the cable to the negative input terminal. Ensure that the DC switch of the controller is off. Unplug the waterproof plug of the input port of the PV branch, and connect the port of the ground wire after inserting the positive and negative terminals. Next, manually screw down the screws on the DC output port. Make the DC output cable end in the same way. Use an electric screw gun to fix it well, and finally check if the fixing is complete. This is the RS485 communication circuit section built into the MPPT. After making the communication positive and negative cable terminals, tighten the cable with a small 1-wire batch and then pass it through the RS485 external interface to access the internal communication A and B ports. This is the photovoltaic side terminal of the energy storage cabinet. You need to connect the cable to the MPPT just now. First of all, use the electric screwdriver to install the DC output cable in accordance with the positive and negative poles in the corresponding photovoltaic side of the energy storage cabinet interface position. After the connection is completed, use the torque effectiveness test, and then connect the wires to the corresponding position. This is the port of the RS485 communication board of the energy storage system. Just connect the communication port at the other end of the MPPT connected to the energy storage system communication A and B ports. Install the utility and load cable ports in the manner described above, with the left A, B, C, and ports for utility access, and the right A, B, C, and ports for load access, sharing a common connector on both sides. So far, the 225 kWh energy storage system is also fully installed. For the final installation, more than 600 mm of space should be left to the left and right of the cabinet, and at least 1000 mm to the front and rear of the cabinet to allow for heat dissipation and maintenance of the cabinet. Demonstration is complete. Please refer to the product manual for further information. If you need more help, please contact the product's official after-sales support.